episode of Dear Talks. Good morning. Now, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me for another beautiful episode of Dear Talks. Thank you. So let me know where you're joining from. And please share the link. Share the link with someone. Share it on your status. Share it on your page for someone to join. This is where we have beautiful conversations, where we get our questions answered live. So for those that are just joining, or this is your first time of joining, my name is Chris, and this is Dear Talks. This is where we get answers to questions, life questions that you probably have in your heart or in your head, and sometimes you find it difficult to ask someone, or you're just looking for a second opinion or a neutral opinion on a particular matter, on anything that's stopping you, on any area of life that you would like counsel. So feel free to send your questions to voiceofgrace@gmail.com. So that's where you send your questions to, and every Saturday like this, 6 a.m. West African time, I get to answer those questions. So what I do is I look for similar questions and make a topic out of them, so we don't have to, so that way we can, tackle a topic and stay on it for a week, like on live shows like this. So we don't have to come back to past questions or similar questions that has been answered in the past. So we collate those questions together, look for similar ones, and have them answered on live section like this. So today, some of the questions will be, answering together. Feel free to, let me know where you're joining from. Hello, let me know where you're joining from. Share the link, subscribe if you're yet to, turn on your notification bell. And in case you have the questions that you still want to ask, feel free to stay to the end of the show. I will give room for people that have questions live. You can just type it in the comments and I will answer. Or just send it to voiceofgrace@gmail.com. All right. So like I said earlier, from some of the questions that we've been collated over the time, we've been asking questions around being loved and being needed. So the topic, let me just put it this way, the topic for today's conversation is the difference between being loved and needed. So these are questions that are around being loved, being needed, being wanted, and all of that. So the first question says, "Hi Grace, I have been in a relationship for almost 3 years, and lately I have been questioning whether my partner truly loves me or simply needs me. Whenever they are going through a difficult season, they want me around constantly. They call me, text, seek my advice, and rely on me emotionally. But when things are going well in their life, I suddenly become less important. Sometimes I feel like my value in the relationship is tied to how much support I provide rather than who I am as a person. I genuinely love them, but I am beginning to wonder whether I am being loved or simply being used as emotional support. How can someone tell the difference between being loved and being used? Okay, this is a sincere question asked by someone that has been in a relationship for almost 3 years. And according to this person, because I asked some follow-up questions, so I got to know she's a female. So she said that she got to, from her observation from the relationship for the past years, she observed that she's only being needed by her partner, because they're still, dating, they're not yet married, okay? That she's only being needed, when this other person is going through a difficulty or a challenge in their life, in their career, probably, just as human beings, there are times that we're tired, we just need that support from someone. So she's that go-to person for this, her partner. But when is okay, when there's no trouble, when everything is going fine, she's not being reached out to, communication level drops. So she's having this kind of feeling. Is it that I'm just being used here, or what's really going on? That you know, I'm only in your life when you need me. So feel free to drop your opinions in the comments as well. I'll read them out. All right. So I need you to know that people value what you do for them, wherever you are. Most of the time, what attracts us to the other person is their values, or let me put this: what we see as valuable in them. Naturally, every human is selfish. If you've been on this podcast over some time, you will notice one thing I've always been saying. Generally, an ordinary man, this is not gender based, I mean human, we are made to we are selfish. Okay, we tend to think of ourselves first, especially in any situation at all. How does this thing benefits me? How does this person add value to me? How can this person be useful to me? How can this person be the person I want them to be? What value do they communicate to me? How can they be valuable to that is a default setting of every human. And I also want you to know that most of the time in relationships like this, if care is not taken, it will end up being a parasitic one. And this is what I mean by that. It will almost look like it's just one side that is being cared for. It's only one side it's only one side that is being cared for. It's only one side of you that what one part, and I mean one of the partner that will be I'm trying to look for the right word, will feel good in the relationship. Because if care is not taken, the other person will feel you just like the way she's feeling right now. And I also asked a follow-up question, because sometimes when someone is in this kind of situation now, the another question you need to ask yourself: when I need this person, am I getting the same thing they want me to give to them? Okay, this is what I mean. For her now, this other person only reach out to her when they need when her help or when a support from her is being needed. The question is, when you're also found in similar situation, or let me say when you reach out to this person, do they reciprocate in how they deal with you, in how they value you, or it is just one-sided? Because that is one of the ways you can know if they genuinely love you. It's normal for people to look for people around them when they're in their downtimes, to look for people that can, help them come out of that situation, people that can help them, people that can be like a shoulder to lean on. It is natural for every human to, because another problem will be when this person is facing challenges or is in a difficult situation, is looking for someone else. Now the good part is that when this person is challenged, because there's some persons that when when they're going through some situations, some difficult situations, is either they withdraw themselves, they don't want to talk to you, they don't want to have anything to do with you, and there are also some people that they probably will reach out to someone else. But in this situation, this person reaching out to you, which is a good thing, okay. But the important question you want to ask yourself is, or you want to evaluate it, whenever you are also in similar situation, when you find yourself in similar situation, does this person help you? Is this person there for you the same way you are there for them? So like I said, it's natural for people to reach out when, when they are in need of us. But when you are in need of them, do they do the same to you? And like you said, that this person only reach out when they're in difficult situations, when things are going well with them, they don't reach out to you. That is not a good thing. And I would love for you to have a conversation. If you have this kind of people in your life, especially as someone you're dating, you want to have a conversation with them. Sometimes we have a lot of assumptions in our head. You think they should know. Sometimes a lot of things we expect from people, they have no clue. They have no idea of what you're thinking about. They have no idea. Some people are just like that. So it's until you really have a conversation and let them know how you feel. Tell them, I will appreciate if you talk to me more. I will appreciate this and that. And look for their response, look for their body language, look for changes. Okay, because I don't want you to just jump to into the conclusion rather that you're not being loved, that you're just being used. That might not be the case. Okay, so you might have to ask them some questions, have a proper conversations, and don't just assume some things. Okay, because mutual care and support is really, really needed in romantic relationships. All right, so the second question we have here is also almost similar. So he says, hi, have always been the dependable friend. I am the people, I am the one people call when they need advice, encouragement, connection, or help solving problems. But recently, I stopped reaching out first and decided to see who would check on me. To my surprise, many of those friendships became silent. It hurts because I realized that some friendships seems active only when I was giving something. Now I'm wondering whether people genuinely valued me or simply valued what I brought into their lives. How do you know when a friendship is built on genuine affection rather than convenience? This is really a deep one. So and this happens to most people as well. You are like that go-to friend when they need a connection at work, when they need someone to talk to, when they need someone to, you're like their Wikipedia, so they can always give them an answer. It's as if you know everything. When they're looking for something, you're the one they call. When they need and help, you're the one they call. When they need advice, you're the one they call. When they need a contact or a connection, you're the one they call. You're almost like that. And some of us are like that, some of our friends. And so this person that did a kind of is it experiment, what should I call it now? So what she did was that, for a while she almost looked like she was not active online. Because I asked some follow-up questions. So she was now looking forward, because she's the kind of people that post on social media a lot. So she was like, these people should be aware. They should know that I've not been in this space for a while. So she stopped calling, she stopped texting, she stopped posting. And, she felt that at least someone should reach out to her, because this is what she would have done when she has not heard from them, in a while. And it looks as if no one knew she left. So she's now wondering, is it that these people don't really care about me? Is it that they just are my friends because of how I help them, how, the kind of connections I have, or the kind of person I have? I might be used here. Again, I will need you to have a conversation with your friends. Because sometimes we assume a lot of things from some people. We expect a lot from some people that have no idea of our expectation of them. Yes. Sometimes you think, these people should know, this person should know this, they should know this is what I want. You will be shocked that it is you're only the friendship is just one-sided. I've seen people that thought this person was their best friend. And when this other person was asked, you know this person, I'll share this, you guys are best friends. I said that, no, we're not really best friends. See, so imagine this other person, you'll be expecting the same energy from them because to you, you see them as your best friend. But to them, probably you're just a colleague at work, or you're just a classmate at school, or you're just neighbors. So sometimes a lot of assumptions end up this way. When you assume this person is my best friend, or this person is my close friend, or this person is my friend. Some persons, for example, I am very careful with people I call friend. I like to know boundaries, define relationships. So probably this is what this person needs to do with these people you call friends. Are they really your friend? Do they see themselves as, because it's one thing for you to see friendship in someone, to see, oh, this person, I want this person to be my friend. Oh, I am their friend. And it's another thing for them to say the same. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Just let me know in the comments if you understand what I'm trying to say. Because it's one thing for you to think, oh, this person is my friend. Another thing for the person to say the same thing. So I think this is one sincere conversation you should have with people, and stop assuming. Be sure of the relationship, the boundaries. What are we doing? What kind of friendship are we doing? What kind of relationship are we doing? Is it friendship? Because I've seen even people that they are just friends and the other person was thought that they were already dating. So these are some kind of assumptions that we have that end up getting things messed up because the right questions were not asked, clarification were not asked, were not done. You just jumped into conclusion and you thought that this person was your friend. And also there are stages to friendships. Okay, so when I know what I am to you and who you want to be to me, it creates some kind of expectation. I don't expect you to be this and that when you're just a neighbor. For example, now we have different kind of relationship. I don't expect my neighbor to check in on me, especially if we are not that, we don't communicate often. I don't expect to just show up at my door. Okay, so the thing is that when relationships are well defined, we know our expectations. Expectation is not just what I think in my head or what I expect from you. It is from the sacredness of the relationship we have, be it friendship. For example, you can't expect your colleague to act like a bestie to you. If you're a colleague at work, then that means what brings us together is work. Anything outside work is not important. So you need to be able to define who these people are, the kind of relationship they also want to have with you. So it is not one-sided, and you will not feel being used. You won't feel that this person is using me. You won't feel hurt. You won't feel betrayed. Because I've seen a lot of people that said their hearts got broken by someone that was never in a relationship with them. They were just in the relationship all alone. In their head, they thought they were doing relationship. And that person was like, no, we're just friends. None of them, they were like, oh, and you broke my heart. And this person was like, when did I do that? Okay, so you don't want to have relationship that's clumsy, with so much confusion. So you want to have boundaries. You want to be sure of your expectations to your friends, every kind of relationship at all. It's just like a partnership relationship, a business partnership relationship. I don't expect you to call me on weekends and hang out or call me and check on me. What we are doing is strictly business. So you know what to expect from them. They know what to expect from you. They know what is expected of them to you. Okay. So sometimes confusions as to who people are or who they want to be to us often confuses our expectation of them or from them. All right. It's beautiful, you're a good person, and the truth is that sometimes because you are a very nice person, or you're a kind, in fact, I'm not, I don't really do nice, like I'm a nice person. Mm-mm. I'm a kind person. I'm kind. In fact, I'm kind. I don't want to be a nice person. I'm a kind person. I prefer kindness to being nice. Okay. So if you're a kind person and naturally you're a giver, you're a helper, you're a counselor, you like to counsel people, help them the way you can, you don't expect, because I know that is what most people do, especially when you're a kind person. You expect that when you're like that to everybody that comes your way, they should be like that to you. No, that is your personality, that is your nature, that is who you are. Not everybody is like you. And especially when relationships are not well defined, you get heart points and your heart's broken unnecessarily. Okay. So this next question says, Hi Grace, in my family I've always been considered the responsible one. Whenever there is a problem, everyone seems to expect me to solve it financially, emotionally. Practically, I am often the first person people turn to. I don't mind helping, but lately I have been I have started feeling overwhelmed. When hurts is what hurts is that sometimes I feel valued more for what I contribute than for who I am. When I say no, people seems disappointed. When I say yes, everyone is happy. It makes me wonder if people love me or if they love having access to me. Grace, is it possible for people to confuse love with dependence? Mm. So this is more of like a family problem, okay? So according to this person, I didn't get to know if this person was a male or a female or the firstborn, what position you are in the family. Sometimes it can be your gender, especially if you're in a family that you're the only female or you're the only male. It can be like this. And if you're the first child of the family too, it can sometimes be like this. Or if you're the most stable one financially, it can also be like this. Okay, I'm just trying to point out situations that you can have this kind of this kind of a problem or challenge. Okay, so according to this person, according to the process, he said, I don't mind helping, but lately I am I have started feeling overwhelmed. So what I need you to do is to communicate. See, a lot of things will work better in our life, in any relationship. It's a marriage relationship, a friendship relationship, a romantic relationship, a family relationship, any kind of relationship at all. Communication is key. Communication is vital. So you need to communicate the exhaustion you are feeling. The same way you're communicating it in writing, the same way you're thinking about it. Sometimes you think about these things a lot. The same way you're thinking about it, it's bothering you. The same way, have a conversation around it, especially to the people involved. Because you will be shocked that people are not aware, your family members are not aware that you're feeling exhausted, that you're feeling overwhelmed. Sometimes that is the case. They might even see you being, like you say you like it, you feel happy when you do it. And another thing I see here is that you said, when I say no, people seem disappointed. You need them to, okay, I noticed that sometimes when we find ourselves in situations like this, people that have this messiah syndrome or messiah personality, this is what often happens. Over time, you make people to see you as there's nothing impossible with you. You can do all things, you can meet all their needs, you can never get tired, you can never get exhausted. So anytime you show some kind of weakness or some kind of I cannot, they are disappointed. because over the years or over time, you've been this Messiah person, the God that never sleeps nor slumber. So it is normal, it is okay for you to communicate when you're tired, when you're exhausted. You need people to know that you are human. You are human. You are human, and you need to communicate that as often as possible. Okay, this is one thing I often tell people. With you, it's cool that you want to be that good person, that go-to person, that person that is meeting everybody's need. But when you cannot communicate it, and do not have this desire that, oh, if I'm not doing this, then I'm a bad person. No, if you can't, then you can't. I've seen people, in situations that they know they don't have what it takes to help that person, and they're feeling bad, they're feeling weak, they're feeling disturbed. That's too much. That's too much. It's another thing when you can and you're saying you can't, but if you can't, you truly can't, and be fine with that. Some people have issues with when they can't do something, when they can't help out, they feel less. Especially if you're a man, is really, really bad. You don't want to have a family, because I've heard of stories that are almost terrifying. Imagine a father that, when work or when business is going well, everybody's happy, the wife, the children, everybody's happy. But when you have issues at work, or when your business or finance is threatened, this person goes into hiding. It's this man goes to the entire family member. They're almost wondering, where is he, where is he, where is he, where is he? Because it feels like what makes him valuable is the finances that he provides. You don't want to live a life like that. Be okay when you can't. Don't feel less of a person. Because most of the time, people do to us, or they treat us the way we present ourselves to them. They treat us from how we define ourselves to them, how we carry ourselves. People know. The thing is that energy can be, what's what energy can be communicated. It can affect the way people see you. When you're acting certain, when you have this idea of who you are, that is not true. That is what people also have, the assumption they have of you. But when they know that, okay, when this person does not have, it doesn't changes how they talk, how they see themselves. Sometimes everything is not about money. If I have money to give you, I will give you. If what I have to give you at that time is an advice, I will give you. When people can really see that, oh, when you don't have so much, this is how you had. This is when you don't have this, they will take you for that. So you need to learn to also, before you want people to value you, to question, do you value yourself as a human that you are, as who you are? Your finances, your connection, the help you are giving, that is not what makes you. What makes you is the real you. How much do you value the real you? How much do you value who you are as a person, not just how you help people? Because it's okay that we want to be valuable to people, help them financially, emotionally, all of those things. But when you can't, how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as a lesser person? Do you see yourself as someone not doing enough? Do you see yourself as someone that is not enough? Because you can communicate these things to people, and they will also define you in that same way, because even you, this is how you see yourself. Okay. I hope I've been able to give answers to that. So the next question is you said, I think I've spent most of my life trying to earn love by being useful. If people needed help, I showed up. If people needed money, I gave. If people needed support, I was available. Somewhere along the way, I started believing people would only love me if I had something to offer. Now I struggle to receive love without feeling like I need to prove my worth? How do you learn that you're worthy of love even when you're not useful? I just answered this question. You need to ask yourself, do I value myself? What value what value do I represent aside finance, aside emotional help, aside giving people? How do I see myself? What is my identity? And this question of identity is a very, very vital one that every one of us, we really, really know. We need to know who we are. Because I've seen people define themselves around their job, their money in their accounts. Because when all of this is gone, that's why some people, when they lose their job or when their business go bankruptcy or whatever bad thing happened to them, the first thing they are starting to think of is how to escape, how to hide, or probably just to end it all. You need to know that your life is not, the sum of your life is not about, what you provide, how much you have. It's first about who you are as a person. Are you a kind person? Are you a good person? Are you a godly person? What are you? What are you as a person? So I think this is a very vital question that I need every one of us to ask. Who am I? Aside the job that I do, because most of the time when you ask people, oh, can I meet you? Can you introduce yourself? The first thing an average person will say is their job or what they are doing, the business they run. As beautiful and as useful as that information is, do you see yourself beyond those things? When you strip up all of those things, who do you remain? What's remain of you? What do you see yourself as? Like I said, these things can be communicated. You can let people treat you based on how you see yourself. In fact, people treat you based on how you see yourself. They treat you based on how you carry yourself. They treat you, in fact, they define you how you define yourself. There's some things that you say that will not get to me, not because I did not hear them, but because I don't see myself that way. I do not care about what you just said, especially if it's not, if the intention of you saying it is not to help me or to give constructive criticism, is probably the intention is to pull me down. Oh my God, I would behave as if I never heard them. Does that mean that I didn't hear? I heard, but I won't let it get to me because I know it does not define me. I know this is not me because I know me. So the question is, do you know you? Aside the accolades, the certificates, the achievements, the businesses, the money, the praises, the celebrity lifestyle, amidst all of those things, do you know you? Who are you? Can you define yourself? What do you represent as a person? Okay, so let me just answer the last question. Okay, I think I just did already. Okay, this last question said, I think I have spent most of my life trying to earn love and being useful. I believe, okay, if people needed help, I showed up. People needed money, I gave. If people needed support, I was available. Okay, I think I took this already. So let me just wrap up this. I think I've said a lot already. I need you to really define yourself. Who are you? What do you represent? What's your identity? Who are you as a person? Okay, because your worth is not something you earn. Your worth is who you are. I need you to listen to that again. Your worth is not something you earn. It is who you are. Thank you. Your worth is not something you earn. It is who you are. So the question is, do you know your worth as a person? Do you know your worth as a person? Because like I said earlier, there's a way these things can be communicated. When people know that you don't value yourself, when they know that you don't really know your worth, when they know that you have identity crisis, they will dump a lot of things on you. They will dump things on you. They will treat you anyhow, any way they feel is best. And they feel you should be okay with it. And again, let me say this: healthy love is not a reward for performance. Healthy love is not a reward for performance. Healthy love is expected from every mutual relationship. It's not because, oh, I should not deserve love because I'm doing this to you. I deserve love of who we have both agreed that we had to each other, and it is meant to be symbiotic. It's not a parasitic one. So I'm not trying to prove myself. No, it's not a healthy relationship. When you're also trying to, because I've seen people trying to buy love in a sense. It happens even in friendships. You want this person to like you, want them to make you your best friend, and not trying to pour. Some people will just get all of those gifts and you're still not a best friend to them, or they don't see you as their best friend. So don't try to buy love. Healthy relationship or healthy love is not a reward for performance. Also, I need you to know that you deserve care even when you're struggling. Even when you're struggling, you deserve care. Because some people think that, oh, I'm struggling because I'm a bad person. No, people should care for you. People that you also care for should care for you when you're struggling. And that is why you want to communicate when you're struggling, because your friends, your partner is not even aware that you're struggling, and because you don't want to be seen as a weak person, you max it up. It's not healthy. It's okay to tell people you need help and receive the help when they give it to you. Okay. So lastly, I need you to know that you are valuable because of who you are and not what you provide. You are valuable because of who you are and not what you provide. And I will go back to my question. I will leave you with this. Who are you? Who are you? I'm not asking what job do you do. I'm not asking you what are you providing for your loved ones. I'm not asking you your accomplishments, your trophies. I'm asking you, who are you? Thank you so much for joining me again for this beautiful episode. Do not forget to always send your questions to voiceofgracevog@gmail.com. And it's always a delight to come here every Saturday, 6 a.m. West African time, to give a live response to all of your questions. Thank you. Thank you. Do not forget to subscribe, like, love, comment, share this video with everyone you care about and everyone you know that really needs to listen to this. All right. And do not forget to turn on your notification bell. So anytime I come here or anytime, my video is up, you will be notified. Thank you. And you have a blessed weekend. Bye.